This is the plaintiff, Jack Noosed. He says he bought a van from the defendant on eBay, which was listed as being in good condition. What a joke! Once he drove it around, he noticed a terrible smell of urine in the car, and he almost threw up. He told the defendant, but the guy thinks he's having buyer's remorse, and that's not true. He just really can't stand the smell. He's suing for $3,000, the cost of the car, plus repairs. This is the defendant, Daniel Carr. He says the plaintiff bought the car, took it to Maryland, and he didn't hear from him for 3 weeks. Then out of the blue, he gets a summons telling him he's being sued for $3,000. Come on. The van isn't even worth near that much, and he feels this is a scam of some sort. He's accused of selling a stink bomb.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket, the plaintiff bought a van on eBay that was supposed to be in good condition but reeked of urine. The defendant says, who knows what happened to the van after the plaintiff took it? It's the case of you're in trouble now.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome.
Okay. Jack Noosed?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay. You are suing Daniel Carr and William Carr, both represented here by Daniel Carr. You have power of attorney to represent William?
Yes.
All right. For $3,000, you say that you're actually out a lot more than that, but that's your statutory max. Because according to you, Mr. Carr sold you a lemon. Tell me what happened.
That's correct, Your Honor. I saw this van on eBay, and it was a 1993 Chevy Astro van. It has 8 pictures of the Astro van. It has a description in the listing on the eBay as to what the van is all about. And
had you ever bought a car sight unseen before?
yes, I have, Your Honor. I've bought
It just seems like such an unwise thing to do.
There's risk to it. I will admit to that. Yeah, I think there's risk to it.
Can't test drive it. Can't have it looked at by a mechanic. It's
Right.
14 years old.
Right.
Going to be 15, right?
17.
17. How old is the car?
1993, Your
Oh,
Honor.
1993. It's
Yes,
17.
right.
It's as old as my marriage. Okay. I thought it was as old as my firstborn. When I read the case, I thought it's old as my firstborn. No, it's as old as my marriage. Go on.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
A couple things that were in the listing that I relied upon, Your Honor, and I'm quoting here verbatim from the listing. Great shape, no problems at all. Exterior is in good shape, some chips off the paint. This is a great van.
Okay.
Before the listing ended, I sent him 2 questions via email, and the questions related to the paint. And secondly, I asked him a question about the brakes, and he said the brakes are good and have no problems. So in reliance upon the listing, the photos, and the answers to the questions, I was a high bidder, and I ended up buying the vehicle.
Do you have proof of the questions and the answers?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Okay, and show me also the advertising. So what happens? You live in Maryland.
Yes.
Where?
I live near Baltimore, Maryland, Your Honor.
Okay, and the pickup spot for the car was where?
It was about, I think it was exit 8 on the New Jersey Turnpike, a roundabout.
Which
there.
exit? 8 on the New Jersey Turnpike.
I didn't know there was more than one, Your Honor.
All right. How far is Baltimore from this spot in New Jersey?
It was about 140 miles, Your Honor.
All right. So you drive up to pick up the car, and tell me about that.
Originally, we agreed to meet around 8:30. This was in the summertime, so it was still pretty light out. I called Mr. Carr. He said he was delayed. In fact, he didn't show up until around 9:30. We met at a motel parking lot. The lighting wasn't very good. And that's where I took possession of the van. I opened the van. I saw 3 air fresheners in the van. Just looked inside real quickly. And
did you find it odd that there were 3 air fresheners?
A little bit, Your Honor, and I really didn't understand why, other than, a lot of people have air fresheners in their car. And
a lot of people have 3 of them?
It's 17 years old.
Douglas is chuckling. I got to say, Douglas finds this funny. Go ahead.
Right.
Go ahead.
So I got in the van, and I drove to Ocean City because I had to be there for a seminar that I was attending.
Did you say something to him, like, why are there 3 air fresheners?
No, I didn't ask any questions about that.
Did you say to him, I need you to drive this to a spot where I can see the car better?
No, I didn't think there was any problems, Your Honor. I mean, I noticed the paint.
Well, there's none so blind as he who will not see. You don't want to test drive it.
Yeah.
You don't want to have anybody take a look at it, a mechanic. And not only that, but when you take possession of it, It's too dark. I guess that's your premise on that it's 9:30, right?
Well,
because you're going to tell me about what you noticed the next day in the daylight.
Absolutely,
right.
Your Honor.
So it's too dark. I can't see, and apparently it's too evergreeny, so I can't smell. Because you're going to talk to me about the smell now too.
That's right.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So after I got the van back to Maryland, or actually after I woke up the next morning and
you drove from Jersey to Maryland with no problem.
It ran okay, Your Honor, but after a couple hours, I started smelling what smelled like a urine smell, and got to where we were staying that night.
Cat, dog, or kid?
I don't know, but I suspect.
Well, if it was cat, you'd know.
Yeah, well,
okay. I don't know if you've had a cat.
Yes, I've had cats.
Yeah,
and
cat, you know.
In my opinion, it was a cat, Your Honor.
You think so?
Yes.
Had that ammonia kind of?
Yeah, a very ammonia smell, and I have photographs. I have many, many photographs, Your Honor. There's cat hair or some kind of animal hair all through the vehicle.
Was it invisible the night you picked up?
Well, it was dark, Your Honor. It was 9:30 at night, so I couldn't see any hair on the floor.
I don't pick up cars at 9:30 at night. Why did you?
Because he said he worked late and didn't get off work until later. I would have happily picked it up late in the afternoon. It wasn't by my design that it was that way.
Okay, so now you take the car and you start to notice after a couple of hours the intense smell of cat urine, and what else happens? Then you start to see that there's cat hair everywhere.
I don't see that until the next morning, Your Honor, when there's enough light. And then I see cat hairs, and then I'm walking around the outside of it. I see the paint is a lot worse than I thought it was. I crawl underneath of it. I see rust everywhere. And at that point, I figured I'd been had.
Okay.
So a couple days later, I'm sorry, first of all, in order to title a car in Maryland, you have to take it to a Maryland State inspection station, which I did, I think, 4 or 5 days later.
And did it pass?
It flunked very terribly, Your Honor. I have a copy of the state inspection.
Okay, hand me the inspection report.
Sure.
What's going on here, Mr. Carr? According to him, you have some horrible, horrible, dilapidated hoopty, and you pass it off on him inappropriately by not being forthright about what was wrong with it.
No, I sold the van. I put it on eBay. I started the bid at $300.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, $300.
Did you have a reserve or no?
No reserve, just $300.
Right.
I listed all of the problems that were with the van. I had the van inspected actually the week of the bidding.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, by a New Jersey state inspection.
Okay. And did it pass?
Yeah, it passed. It's actually
I guess New Jersey standards are lower than Maryland.
By a licensed inspector, it shows the state sticker number and all of that.
Fascinating.
Now, as for him not having it inspected, it actually says on the eBay ad that he can have a third party inspect it. He neglected to do so.
Do you have a pet?
I have 2 dogs.
2 dogs. So that's not
dogs.
cat?
Not cat.
It's dog.
And the dogs are, I believe, 8 and 7, and they're both very trained. They've been professionally trained. So.
Okay, so you deny that there's a smell of animal?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Were
there 3 little air fresheners?
There were. There was actually one in the front, there's one on the side, and there's one in the back. Because again,
dogs smell like dog?
No. I've had the car, this is my second vehicle. This was a car I would drive once every couple weeks. And when it's in the summer, it's a 1993 van. The heat just beats down on the fabric. Sometimes it'll get a musty smell.
17 years of experience.
Yeah, exactly. So I put, there's 3 air fresheners. It's a big van. And if you pick up a van, or you pick up a car you bought on eBay, and okay, say he didn't notice that it smelled like that right when he got it. So he notices it the next day. Wouldn't you try to get in contact with the person that sold it to you?
Well, did he?
No. I didn't
when was the first time you heard from him? When you got
I received a letter on his attorney letterhead stating that he wants...
His attorney or his letterhead and he's an attorney?
His own letterhead.
Are you an attorney?
He's an
Yes,
attorney.
ma'am.
Yeah. So...
What kind of attorney are you?
A good attorney, Your Honor.
No,
So, would you buy a 17-year-old van sight unseen on eBay without taking it to a mechanic? Let's figure out how many things are wrong with that.
Absolutely not. That's insane. You don't do that. You don't buy a van on eBay without taking it to a mechanic.
Would you ever buy a van on eBay? How about that?
The only thing that you buy on eBay are DVDs and books, not vans.
Is that? Do you guys all buy that? Would you ever buy a car on eBay? Anybody?
No. Hell no.
Maybe.
Ever.
Maybe?
Maybe. But if it reeked of urine, I wouldn't buy it in the first place.
Yeah, the urine is always a buzzkill. That's the way I see it too, going inside the courtroom.
You do understand that car sales are as is.
No,
are you banking that I don't understand that? That a used car sale is going to be an as is sale?
It's not, Your Honor. The ad never said as is. I wouldn't be standing here.
Do you understand that the default position of the law is that a used car sale is an as-is sale, and that it is buyer beware, and that you're the one who needs to have it taken to somebody to have it looked at by a mechanic before you buy it, or whatever other precaution you want to take, which you were invited to do on eBay? You do understand? I mean, I can understand if somebody who doesn't have any training in the law says, "Oh, it's my first car, I don't know," but you know that. You're experienced at this. You lost the gamble, and you're here wasting my time?
No, that's not it, Your Honor.
Well, you sort of are, because if you're an attorney, you have to know that used car sales are as is. I mean, I'm a little bit offended that it's bad enough that regular people try to take me for a ride, and they underestimate my intelligence. But it really sort of hurts my feelings that a lawyer does that. Who do you think you're dealing with? That I'm going to sit here and I'm not going to realize, oh, it was dark, I didn't get to look at the paint. And there were lots of little sprucey air fresheners, so I didn't get to smell the urine. And, come on.
Your Honor.
I'm out of here, you're out of here, verdict for the defendant.
A good attorney, but a losing attorney.
Right.
Okay, so step on in here. Give me your reaction to coming out of here on the south side of this.
Disappointed.
You underestimated the judge a little bit?
No, I don't think I underestimated her. I mean, she called it the way she saw it.
All right. Your mistake was not getting it looked over by a mechanic?
I could have been more cautious about it, but I think the law deserves to give me the protection of being able to rely upon the representations of the defendant here, that the brakes were good, et cetera.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Right down around the corner there. Documents are waiting for you on the way. All right. So come on in here, sir. Step on in. Why didn't you tell him the thing stinks like urine?
Because it doesn't. That's why.
What's he talking about?
I have no clue what he does with his vehicles in Maryland, but in Jersey we don't use our vehicles as bathrooms for pets. Yeah. So.
Well, how'd that smell get in there? He put it in there?
I have no clue what he did with it in the couple weeks' time that I heard from him.
Think he's making that up?
Maybe.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get to Harvey.
Okay, if you really insist on buying something like this on eBay, you should put a remedy in the contract and a condition too. At the very least, you need to say that the purchase is subject to inspection. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.